for the latest in your business and economic news with me, Ropiwa Madzena. And we're on this story this afternoon. Investigations are underway and a board of inquiry is being set up to probe the cause of fires at two Transnet port terminals over the past 2 weeks. A technical team has also been deployed to determine the extent of the damage. Following the latest fire on Wednesday in Richards Bay, Transnet declared a force majeure or shut down, but they say both ports remain operational. They're also saying that they are hoping to minimize the disruptions and will ensure that repairs are concluded as soon as possible. Also, if found that any of the incidents were as a result of negligence, action will be taken against those involved. So we're speaking to Transnet Corporate Affairs and External Stakeholders General Manager Moshe Motlohi, and he's joining me now for an update. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I know I've just mentioned it very briefly in my intro, but is there any information about what caused the fire, how much damage was done, and when Transnet foresees a lifting of the force majeure?
Good afternoon, Rofio, and thanks for having us. Let me state that the investigation is still ongoing. Of prime importance for us was just to enable the cargo to flow through the port, where we allowed the terminal operator to use alternative means of handling cargo instead of the belts. But I'm also relieved to indicate that of the 7 belts that have been stopped, we have been able to restore 5 of them, meaning that there's 2 that are now going the last inspection, and the decision about them will be taken soon. But as to the cause and extent of this, we still are doing that. The board of inquiry is going to give us that much needed information.
Right. Now, companies have raised concerns over losing quite a bit of revenue while there are disruptions that are in place. You've mentioned some contingency plan in the terms of alternative means of transporting the goods in the meantime. Talk us through what exactly those alternative means are.
Well, you'll note that at the port of Richards Bay, the areas that were affected were using conveyor belt system. When we then had to do this inspection and the other 2 lines had been bent, we then had to allow the skip container operation. In this, we allow the terminal operator to use vehicles such as tractors or trucks with the skip at the back, where the cargo gets loaded on the skip and then it gets taken to the side where it has to be, either to be put on the rail wagon or to be put on the truck that is going to take it on a forward journey. Then there were trucks running between the port where some cargo stored to the facilities that are just adjacent the port-bound industries.
Right. Now, disasters like fires can happen at any time. It's not something that is always controllable. So, I mean, looking at what's happened and while information is still coming through from the investigations, what are some of the means that are going to be put in place to prevent disruptions of this scale, and also just to protect the easy flowing of a cargo to all sorts of places?
Key to this endeavor is to make sure that everyone who's affected gets to be part of the solution, where we communicate our intentions, the operating model chosen with the customers. Then we have joint planning around the arrival of trucks to make sure that they do not come all at the same time and cause congestion in the port. This is what has been key to ensure that there's a flow of cargo without really causing another mess. But then we also have now heightened the teams that are monitoring the behavior of the wells. If there's something that needs urgent attention, then those teams are going to do that. We put extra technical support on monitoring of the wells.
Right. Now, you have spoken about the fact that should there be evidence of negligence, there will be action taken against those involved. What does this action look like? Is it suspensions? Is it firing? What exactly is the mode of action will Transnet take?
Look, there's an array of actions that one can consider, ranging from suspension. Of course, if there's something that points towards us having to remove some people from the process, we'll do that. Then we'll then take the process forward. Then that becomes, if there's any wrongdoing established, then there will be a hearing, of course, where people have to state their side of the story. Then we also present what we found, but we are not there yet. We have taken action where we felt that people should be removed so that we can have a fresh eye looking at the issues. So we are not going to hold back. We'll do what is relevant and equal to the negligence if there's any. For now, I don't want to jump the gun. We are still investigating.
That is Transnet's Corporate Affairs and External Stakeholders General Manager, Moshe Motlohi, who is giving us a sense of what is happening right now with the force majeure and a way forward in terms of when those investigations are concluded.